Hi there, this is Kathy Crow here at the Crow Cottage, and thank you so much for joining me. This has been a beautiful day, very nice. I was doing all of my workout and all of that. I'm still waiting for our UPS guy. Actually, it's a FedEx guy, and he has to have a signature, so I hope I don't have to cut you off, but he already tried to deliver yesterday, but I think he's going to deliver it at Walgreens. I tried to get them to do that. We'll see. I've never done that before, so I'm just hoping that it'll show up there. Anyway, I really like the pattern tags. This is for next week's newsletter that you will see these, and I'm going to do some other things with them. So let's have a look at it, okay? And then while you're here with me, I'm trying to get it to turn around. While you are here with me, can you just keep in mind that right now during the month of October, this is a really good time to have, buy some things, because just get the starter kit. There's 2 offers going this month, just through the month of October. With a starter kit, and they're both really, really good deals. Either one is a really good deal. I would get the bigger one, the $99 version, just so that you can get $189 worth of things myself. But since I'm already a demonstrator, I can't take advantage of it. But that doesn't mean you don't have to. So you could do it, and believe me, you should. It's a great deal. Now, there also are a lot of things on the website, and right now, we demonstrators are getting to have a wonderful time looking at a pre-order that's coming to you online in a month. I think in November you will get that. So in November, make sure you're looking at the items because they're really cute. And I'm not going to show you any of them right now because we're going to go ahead and do these tags. But I'm just letting you know that they are going to be coming, and it's definitely something to check out. It's very, very nice. All right, so here are the tags that you will be seeing next week. I didn't tell you anything about how they were made because I just knew I was going to do a video showing you. These are hard to describe. They're very small. There's a great many of them, but this is the actual die you want to buy. It's called patterned tags. I've got one white piece cut out from this. It's like I'm not sure if you would call that a star or a poinsettia. There's probably an actual name for this shape. But I'll come to those here in a minute. I just wanted to show you my little tags because these are so cute. And I could not do justice to the pattern, the velvet on them in my pictures. So I wanted to tell you about that as we go. I did have to get out a whole lot of retired things. I'm really sorry, but like this die, I believe that was a retired one, but this was a retired one. So all the little dies that I scrounged like from several sets to try to get what I needed for all these little diddle doodads. This glimmer paper, I'm sure, is retired. You can look, though. I think there might be some glimmer DSP, and that would be really pretty, too. Any glitter paper would look wonderful, though. Isn't that pretty? And then I do like this design because you can put those little gems in there. This one is actually, I don't know. I couldn't find, I actually went to find this die for this little teeny tiny panko, and I couldn't find it. It's hidden there in my stash somewhere. But aren't these beautiful tags? I mean, I'm gonna take these and probably fasten another one on the back like this. I did this so you could see, if you're gonna decorate it, you kind of need a space to write. So that's why that one was done. But these aren't, just because that will take some time, and I'll deal with that at the moment I'm using them. It's so pretty, you don't really have to decorate it. I just wanted to show you some ideas what you could do. And then I could not find this pumpkin. I couldn't find him. I found a different pumpkin, but I couldn't find this one. So anyhow, I know it's here somewhere. I just have to hunt through all of my dies, and I don't have time to do that. So these sentiments and these dies are all of them retired. That's why you need to save your things. Don't sell it all. And don't buy everything. You know, you can't keep everything, so don't buy everything. Now, this set actually is a new one. The little gingerbread guy is from Homemade Treats. And I was actually I got these two things together because I expected to use them. But the candy cane would be fine. The Santa hat would be fine. It does cut it out. But the thing that I like best about this is this tray that you can put the little cookies on. And it's just a tad too big for this tag. So I wasn't able to use it that way. And that's one reason I think I got all these other things out. But I did stamp him because isn't he cute? And then he has a die and you can cut him out and you can stick him on there. So anyhow, that's the way it is. And because I'm using all kinds of old things, I got out all of my old little itty bitty sayings and bats. So this one had a bunch of dies in it, and it has these cute pumpkins. I don't know if this actually came from this set. I don't think it did. I think those cute pumpkins came from a whole nother set. But there they are, and they are so sweet. There's a little witch's broom. Again, I don't think those came from this particular set. I just used this set, and so I shoved it all in there. But anyhow, I knew that's where I could find those. But these are the little itty-bitty sayings. So you can get, again, this is one set that is probably retired, but had some little tiny things in it. But it had tiny words. Because for this set, I needed little teeny tiny words. This Unbounded Love had, this is current, and they have this one in Spanish. Oh, I wonder if that's gone, because it actually was last year, so that might be available, but it might not be. Itty Bitty Christmas, Oh What Yum, you know, Joy to the World. That's the one that I used for one of these tags. And then this one has Celebrate on it, or Hey Friend, or Fabulous at Any Age. Oh, that would be really good. Or Have a Lucky Day. If you have like a little shamrock punch or die. I don't happen to have that. I have little stamps, but nothing with a die. So let me talk to you about these layers. Super easy to cut and make. I'm not going to do very many of them. This is going to be a very short video, but I just wanted to let you know that we do have right now a pack of velvet paper that comes in red, white, and Christmas green. Like, I think it's shaded spruce. And I need to buy that because I thought I had green and then hunted and didn't. So I just used Mossy Meadow, and that's looking like Granny Apple Green in there for this little tag. But the velvet on top is the best. Really, really the best. So I used the velvet for this tag, and I used for just the top, not the bottom, because you don't really feel this bottom tag. And it is going to take quite a lot of it too, you know, because it's a pretty big tag. So, you know, I'm being a little careful with my red velvet because it's something that I use at Valentine's and Christmas. So, anyway, I am going to use it though today so you can see how easy and quick these are to make up. It's very simple. And then some things I've already got. I've got some Halloween ones already cut out and ready to go. So that, and then birthday candles. I found these when I was hunting. And for my Halloween dies, I found these candles, and I thought, ooh, that would be good. We've got October birthdays in our family, so those would be handy to do in Halloween colors. Halloween is coming up, and I am just, I think, not going to have a video for it because I didn't buy any Halloween stamps this year. And I might use this one because I do really like this Scary Cute. It's cute. It has the little castle in it that I've got out and the bats. It has a nice little frame. and it's just super cute. But that one's retired. All right, so let's go ahead and cut this. Try to get my light to position so you can see somewhat how easy this is. So we'll use the white first of all. So I'm going to just do this little filigree type top. It's not filigree at all. It's not the Moravian star, but it kind of looks like it a little bit. And then also, while you're at it, just pull out this little bow, and you can do that too. You might use it on a different card, because if you've got a little scrap at the end, like I do here, you might as well just use it up. Now, this is actually a little reinforcement. I might as well stick that in there. I haven't used it yet on any of my tags, but you know, if you wanted to make sure that it was going to be real sturdy, then it wouldn't hurt you to do it. So I'm going to put this through 2 times just to be sure, because the velvet actually is a little thick. I might even do it 1 more time. Well, actually 4 times then, because I'm pulling it through that way. And then it's easier for me to just take it out on this side. So I went through 4 times, but it probably was totally not necessary to do that many times. And then I'm going to move this out of the way for a minute, just so that I can put my little container for everything here, and then you can see how it all is going to come out. So we're going to put that there, and the bow. And then I don't really have anything left here. There's not enough on that to really use. So this is going in the trash, and we're going to use this roller to get all of the little pieces out. All right, and now we'll just punch that little guy out, and he's ready to go. Isn't that beautiful? And it's very soft, very soft. All right, then we'll get this little piece out. Because I bet I'm going to lose that. That's so small. I'm sure I'm going to lose you. And then the bow. I'm going to pull you out. Now, the bow actually is in 2 parts. There's 1 part. Oops, I already lost that die out of my hand. And then the second part. So before I go any further, because I'm going to want this together, and I'm not going to do a glue dot, because it's just too small for a glue dot. I better get I always have to look for my clothespins, because I moved everything. But I think I put my clothespins. I did! I put them near me for a change. Well, that was smart. So I can't believe I did anything that was smart. But this has not been a stellar brain week for me. I have done some really dumb things. Nothing too horrible, I suppose, but, you know, I've just not been acting smart, that's for sure. Anyway, not evil, just not bright. So here we go. We'll glue you, and you'll get done before I'm ready for you. And then I'm going to take these items and throw these away. This is how I'm keeping my space a little cleaner, is by just taking care of some housekeeping business just as it happens. So I did that. I'm going to just keep the white, and I don't think I need another one of those. So we're going to put those on the side and put this one away, because I don't want to labor everything. And then we're going to do this one with the red for, you know, candy canes just scream to me here for Christmas. But little hearts would be nice too, with velvet. Really, really nice. But we're going to just not worry about any of that right now. I'm going to just do 1 tag, and I'm conserving, so let's not get too wild here. There we go. So now I still have a pretty good chunk of my velvet. We're going to do 1. I definitely do need the bow though, and I don't have enough there for the bow. Do I? Let's see if I do. It's close, like super close. I don't think it's close enough. Might be. I think it is. So I'm not going to do the reinforcement, but I think that actually is good enough for that bow. think this time I'm only gonna put this through just 2 times. So 1, that I count that as 1 time. 2. That's the same amount of time I did it last time. I probably could have just done it through 1, which is actually 2, but anyhow, I'm just being cautious here to make sure that it does fall out like I bragged that it would. And I know it will. It's been really, I haven't used it a ton. The more you use these, the more likely you are going to have to do a dryer sheet to make sure that it's all falling out nicely. But this one's actually going to work pretty well because those are big strips that fall. And with one of the cards that I made, I think that I went ahead and saved these and laid them on. It was time consuming, and I decided it wasn't worth doing that. But if you're running out of paper or you're very frugal and you want to save your scraps and use them that way, that you can use those as a nice, you know, anyway. All right, so here's the bow. We'll get that out and we'll get that one glued up too and ready to apply, and we'll get these little tags done. We'll do the where's the other part of you? Oh, you're still in there. Let's get you out. There you are. Okay, we'll get those 2 little pieces out, and then all the rest of this is just leftovers I don't need. There's one corner of that tag that just isn't coming out. There we go. But that was it. Pretty sweet deal, isn't it? So this I only need white from the back side. Unless you wanted black, that would look good too. And I need white. I need a few things probably for that one. We are going to do, I should probably do green, but I think we're going to just stick with what I've got so that I can get you finished and out and about on with your day. And I never know, of course, when Jeff's going to come back home. Today he is substitute teaching in, where is he? He is in, I believe he's in Republic today. Now see how that holds so nicely? And it looks really pretty. I do have to say, I have a die that actually does a really nice double bow without it being 2 pieces. But the thing about, which is nice, I prefer it if I'm gonna just be gluing like this. But the other thing is that it's not going to be 3D. Mine isn't. But if you used a little tiny piece of dimensional, you would get a 3D. But I don't know how that would hold up, actually. I don't have a lot of confidence on that one. Let's go ahead and just do real white. Your basic white for the bottoms of those 2 tags that I just did. This has a hole in the tag that's in a somewhat awkward spot for some tags. When I tied them, you know, it's way down here, which means it's sturdier, okay? But it is in a bit more of a... I had to do my ribbon a bit differently than I would for many tags. And it was another reason I thought having a double layer with your tag is actually a real plus. Because of where the hole is, it just lends itself really well to having another tag with it. Because it's farther down, it fits nicely. Now that's is this my velvet? No, that's very vanilla. That's a little teeny tiny, very vanilla scrap. I don't really need any more of that white. All right, so now all I'm gonna do is take, oh, I need a real red though for the back side of my velvet. So let me grab some real red. And I'm gonna just do a tag with that really quickly. I'm going to do that here on the sides because I already put my machine away thinking I was all finished, and I really wasn't. There we go. And voila. All right, so this is just real red cardstock, and we get our fuzzy velvet on and just glue that on. You could use tape if you wanted to, but you know, I would recommend getting the edges pretty well. And then once you've got your edges done, you just put a little smattering here and there. Just make sure you don't get too close to a hole, you know, because it's gonna ooze a little bit. And there you go. Beautiful. So, so cute. All right, that one's done. And then we're gonna take this, so I don't need this white one. I'm gonna use that differently. And then we're gonna take this one and go like this. Okay, much easier to do this one because stripes are pretty simple. The little edge though, kind of needs it. You don't want that lifting up. And you know what, I could just use my little bit of paper underneath that helps grab my excess tape and just go tape, tape, tape. But you know, that little, when I do that, I think it ends up being stickier on the side than if I just use glue. So I'm just gonna use glue. There you go. And I also have a hard time positioning it perfectly, and with glue I can move it a tiny bit. All right, so that is done. Let's have a look at my tags. I've got a black one cut out for the stripe for my Halloween tag. Isn't that cute? So I love these tags. You can't have too many little tags laying around. If you have kids at home, if you have grandkids near you, if you just like to give little presents to the postman, you know, to people at church, to school, anybody who actually interacts with people, which is not me. For the most part, I don't. All right, so we're gonna put that one here. This looks like, oh, it's the back side, and it had little white leftovers from a previous dye usage. So anyway, yeah, I just don't, I used to do postman gifts. I don't here. I really should, but we don't get hardly any mail anymore. It used to be our postal people worked for their job, and they still do, but not much for us. I just don't get a lot of stuff delivered to me anymore. And we don't have kids in the home and all of that. So here's our little, this is the double cut bow I told you about that I have as a, so if you don't want to go to the trouble of tying, you know, and all that, you can just do a little bow here. Let's stick it above that hole. It still looks pretty good. I guess I better use my clip. And then this little guy can go on here. You can't, if you're gonna tie anything, you're gonna wanna do that before you do this. Because if you use a little bit of twine on it, you're gonna want that probably to go underneath. I didn't, and I put it on top, and it was quite awkward. So let's do it underneath. It would work better to do it that way. I don't know that I need the white one. And I might use these, but probably not today. Okay, so I've got my little leaf if I wanted to use it, but I do actually really like this, but it needs a background. It's a tag. And then these little bats. Pretty cute. But they would be even cuter on a plain tag, I think. But since I'm not going to do that, let me grab my, where do I have them? Let's see. I have a container full of little tiny white tags. Where are you? Because I know I have you here somewhere, so let's look. If I can't find it quickly, then, well, I can't find it. Oh, jolly, jolly. Here it is. Okay, so I've got some, but let's see if they're going to be the right size. Oh, perfect. All right, so we have one that I think, now it has a hole in it, and I don't necessarily want tags because I don't necessarily want them to go here where the hole would go. So I'm going to put my tags away, and possibly I have labels that are white. Let me close up my glue before it dries up on me. And like these would be fine. Let's keep those out. A couple of those. These little ones, that one's too wide. These little circles are kind of small. I think I have more than just this. So let me go grab my basic white little envelope and see what's in there. I think I've already used up a lot of what I've got in here. These are looking large. So, and some of them look like very vanilla. And that won't do. See this square? That would be perfect, but I do not see a white one, so we will have to cut those out. So what I will do is just to grab a die that has a variety of things in it. And, you know, hopefully you have enough things that you can do that too. Some of the sets that we have quite a lot of variety. I've got all my little circles. So we're gonna grab, I need a square for you. I think we'll do a circle for these others. And it, you know, you've got layering ones, so you can layer them. This is our circle die, and we had Spotlight on Nature, and we had, you know, there's just a variety of sets, and I have no idea what circle dies are out there right now, but I'm sure there's something. But we could do this, and then you could do this, and that would be quite nice. So I'm gonna roll maybe a couple of these red ones out. That's a little scrap just sitting handy here. And then I'll do a couple of white ones and we'll get these tags finished. All right, so there's two red ones. And then we'll get a couple of white ones done. Let's see what we can do. I'm just trying to get them done at the same time, because as long as you're not cutting too many things, you can do that. You know, too many layers. 2 is quite a bit, and more than that would never cut. So anyhow, it's just a matter of separating them once you've done that. All right, so there's those 2, and I think that's going to be good for what I want with my circle. And then I'll find a. Now you can see I've got my reinforcers from other sets. I've got all of my circles together in one envelope. And one of the things that Stampin' Up! Has done is changed our packaging. So when you get your packages, it's going to look slightly different. I think I'll use my scallop instead of my stitched, because I think it's got the right sized square. Yeah, that's gonna look really nice against that. So I just need I need a couple of these pumpkin ones. So I'm gonna just double it over. That way I can get 2 in one pass, and then we can get these finished. All right, maybe I need white as well. Who knows? I doubt it, but you never know. Okay, so that was like a little scallop. No, those are like little stitched, almost scalloped. So cute. Let's do white just in case I need it. And it won't hurt. I can add them into my little envelope of labels. I don't use that. Okay, so now we've got all these pieces. Let me throw away my scraps. All right, well, my leg is finally recovered from my, it's healing up nicely. My little adventure out in the woods. Man, I really scraped it up good on that blackberry vine. Blackberry vines are super, super strong. Okay, so that's that. Now let's take, you're gonna want dimensionals on the back. And I've got my black mini ones, and then I've got my larger white ones. I thought I had some used. There we go. And so I'm gonna take one of these and just stick this here like that. And this is gonna go right on there. And then what you can do is label this here, and then that way you would not have to do any more, you know, any tying anything together. But if you want to tie something together, then you could punch a little hole in there and fasten that, or you could even just use the circle and stick it under here. If you did yellow, this could be a nice big moon coming out back there. That would be really pretty, but it wouldn't give me much room to stamp my words on it. I'm gonna just take this little castle and we're gonna stick that on here like this, first of all. And then we'll take the dimensionals and stick that right on the tag. Okay, I think 3 will be plenty. And this little tag's gonna be almost ready to go. So cute. And then you've got your little pumpkin faces. There's one. This would be another one. I've got a big fat pumpkin. If you want your reinforcement, that is gonna go here, like that. Okay, I don't really need the reinforcement. And I'm gonna lower the camera because we're kind of working in intricate detail here now. So let's see, what can we fit on that little teeny tiny space? I brought over my itty bitty greetings. I think I've got a little Halloween one here somewhere. Aha, there you are. So we've got a little trick or treat, very cute. This is very old set, but I bet a lot of you still have this one because it did have just about everything. But it's our old cling ones, and that's fine if you're used to that. But if you prefer the photopolymer ones, you're going to be thrilled to know that Stampin' Up! Is not going to be carrying these cling ones anymore, because then you won't have to be struggling with it at all. Okay, so there's my little pumpkin pie sentiment for trick or treat. And now you can go right on there. Such a cute little tag. We do have cute little neighbored girls that come over and trick or treat. So I had Jeff get our Halloween candy already at Costco while we were there, so I can actually get something kind of nice together for them with the so I'll actually use these tags. That was my plan. We have enough kids in the neighborhood that I'll be able to use my little trick or treat tags. So we've got a bow, you know, but this one would be a good tied bow. I'm not going to take the time to tie it. A gold tie would be best. I guess I could use one bat, you know. It's kind of cute. Let's do one. Because I'm going to not want to be using too many, but I might as well use them up. Let's stick you right there. Little bat. Maybe I should have done him up there. Well, there's another one. I could use this one here. Nope, we're going to just do the one. That's going to be plenty. Then for this one, let's take that off. I don't need to worry about my anything there. We can use our white tag. And then I can put my little pumpkins here. Okay, we can put our sentiment on here. Let's see what we have. Well, if I want to, I could even just double it up like this. And we could go like this, you know. There's just lots and lots of options. It's fun to play. Just see what you want to do. A little hello, but that's no good. We only have trick or treat in here. This is not, I don't want to do 2 trick or treats. So on this scary cute one, we've got a teeny tiny little Boo. So Boo, we're going to do that. This one has a cute, really cute cat die that you can cut out in black, and it's really nice. Now, I keep these papers in, but man, those clings start to really stick to it, even though this is the non-stick side. But if I don't, they stick to my dies and whatnot, so that's worse. So we're going to use this little teeny tiny Boo. I know I have a tiny block in here. Let's grab you out. And we'll just use Memento Black for this one. All right, very cute. We are all set for Halloween. And you can glue it on there if you want to, or you can just... The leaf would look nice too, you know, you could do that. You could layer the leaf and that and that. That would look good. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and just use my little pumpkins. I do think there was a ring and a little box. There was a ring, little teeny ring for wedding. And there was a little box die years ago those particular little pumpkins came from that set, I think. But I'm not 100% sure. But that was from a few years ago. There, you're cute. Super cute, except for you're sticky and you won't stick to my paper. You're just sticking to my hand. All right, there we go. Gotcha. Make sure you're on there good. All right. And, oh, this is just turning out too cute. I love it. Oh, I bet you there's going to be tons of these little tags all over Pinterest. You'll have to look. Now, this is screaming for a little gem of some kind. I wonder if I've got one that I can find pretty handy here. I hope so. Aha. So there is an old one we had. We have these metal ones. That would look good. But we had this one. This was called Faux Glass Dots. And I think I hope I bought enough of these because they're actually only about perfect for October cards and things. There, perfect, perfect, perfect. So we've got that, and now we need our little Christmas ones. So for this one, we're going to use a flag. Let's get rid of some of my trash. And we're going to put a little bow here. Oh, I forgot. I was going to put the tie on first. I forgot. Oh, well. And we'll set that one aside and let that set. We just need to attach this like this. Now, a square would be good under here, like a larger square. I don't know that I have one, but I'm going to have a little peek. See if I have one that's will work if I turn it on its side. It's a bit big. If you don't care about it not being too, you know, but that's too big. Not gonna work. What was I thinking? I probably have a punch over there. I could just quickly punch. Maybe, because sometimes a punch is a lot faster than a... Well, of course, right at the moment, I can't find my squares. I don't even see where you are. I know you're laying around here somewhere. I thought you were like super visible squares. Oh, you are. You're just right here in front of me. Okay. So here's a nice square. We'll see if this one is going to be a better size for what I need. Look how old that punch is. I'll bet you haven't seen that in a long time. All right, so there's a little square, and then we can put our red behind it, and I think that actually might work better. And then I'm going to just do some little gems, you know, to make that better, and then it's going to be a little easier for me to put a sentiment on that size, I think. I am not so sure, but we will find out. Probably not going to use the rest of my little bats, although you could stick the little bats on there and they'd be very cute. But I might save that for another set. Okay, I don't need this. Let's put this away. So now you're going to be ready for your real red ink and a Christmas set. And I'll put our Halloween one away. So when you're thinking about the kinds of things that you want to purchase, you know, it really helps to have what you need. So that's one reason homemade treats is a really good one, because you can stamp your little, now there are the dies for it, but I'm not going to be using it because I'm going to just stamp my candy cane right on here. Okay. All right, so we'll go like this. There's one. You could do another one if you want to. But I think when I do that, I need to have just a little scrap of paper underneath my tag, so I can just do, they're gonna be directionally the same, which I'm not always fond of that so much, but it's okay. If you were cutting it out, you could probably figure, you could just do a mirror image of it. And we can do from the kitchen of, if you're going to do any little gifts from your kitchen. It's got that. You can write your little name right there in the middle if it's fairly short, or if you can write really small. That will be right there, and that's going to go right there. Isn't that cute? Then there'll be your nice tie. And while we're here, let's do this one too. For this one though, I want the Oh What Yum. We're gonna use our little gingerbread boy. And we're gonna go ahead and use this one. Or you could just do a plain red, that works as well. And then I could use that tag for something else. But I think we'll go ahead and just do that. So where's my Oh What Yum? What were you on? I forget. Let's find you. I think it was Itty Bitty something. There it is. Itty Bitty Christmas. Okay, so we're going to get that out. And the Oh What Yum. There's also a sprinkled sugar thing on there, but we're going to just do this right there. And then what we're going to need to do is do the little gingerbread guys separate and cut them out. And they're going to just stick right on there. And I think we've got blessed Christmas wishes. I'm going to just use the Christmas, oh, here's Christmas cheer. That probably will fit better. Although I actually want Christmas wishes. Let's see if Happy Christmas will fit on here. I think it will. Barely, but it will. So we'll use that. Happy Christmas. When you're first starting stamping, it's hard to get yourself to buy these sentiment sets, but they really pay off. You'll be able to just very quickly do a whole lot of things, and it's just much easier and more fun if you do that. Let's see, we're going to do pecan pie, I think pecan pie will be good for our gingerbread boys. We've got something under there. All right, we need another piece, a little scrap of white. I don't really need my scrap anymore. Get rid of our bat. And here's our little gingerbread boy. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, just to be sure I had good impressions. Some of them were a little weaker than others, but you know, that just means that they were in the oven a little longer than the other ones. And then you can, oops, I forgot, I need the die. There are 2 dies, so I can actually cut out 2 of these little guys pretty quickly here on the side. And let me do that. It's going to take me just a minute to do 2 of them. It actually is, my magnet's holding on to those dies pretty well. I think we're going to be good. Sometimes when I roll it through, it likes to move around and play games with me, but I think it actually went through without any issue today. Perfect. Okay, so we will just use those 2. I still have 2 left that I'm going to just hang on to and finish doing those later, because those will be really cute on that cookie sheet. And then with I mean, this whole set is wonderful. You've got your oven mitt, you've got your pastry bag to cut out, you've got your rolling pin, and it looks really good. Now I'm going to feature that set in the future, so you're going to see that one again later, but it's just too cute to do with these dies. Okay, so here we go. We are almost done. So this is going like this. So what I want is, I want to glue the corner of this here, like so. Sounds like Jeff's home. And we're going to put our dimensionals on here like this, and like this. Oh, maybe one more like that. And voila. Very cute. And then I've got plenty of room to tie my tag with a pretty good sized ribbon. I thought I had a piece of red here for that. I do. So I wanted to show you how to tie these so that you can, normally I would push this kind of a fasten, you know, instead of a bow, this kind that I'm doing, I would normally go, I think, from the front through, but in this case, I'm needing to go from the back. And let me show you why. So that way, when you fasten it, this little, it just looks a little better. Because it's not straight across, it's at a curve, you kind of end up having to have these long things at the back. This looks okay, but it's a little awkward. Now this side would look better on this front if you are going to tie another tag to this. Okay, so if I was going to punch a hole in here and fasten it with another bow here, then it would look fine. But if I'm not going to put another one of these on here, it doesn't look good this way, but it would on that side. But I'm not going to. This is for this card. I just want ribbon here and nothing more. So that's what I'm ending up with. And I thought it looked better on the shoulders where you can kind of see where this is coming out. That's just my personal taste. So you do what you want. All right, and then we've got this here. This is gonna go on here. This little guy here. This little guy here. And we are all set with that. Let's put a little bit of a red on the back of that side and red on that one. And then we'll be all done. So... Jeff's sneaking through with his laundry. Fully and thankfully, clothed.
Fully clothed.
Yes, fully clothed. You are so funny. I have begged him to try to, well, not really beg, but I've asked him, you should be on the video. People would love to see you because you would. And he is very, very funny. So you're missing out, but he won't share his wonderfulness with you. All right, so we're going to put this little gingerbread guy here, and I do think I want to use the little black mini dimensionals on these because I'm not going to put many of them on anyway, and they're going to kind of disappear back there. I don't really know why. I think I'm going to prefer that, but for some reason I think I am. So we'll put you here, and then this one, though, I think I've got white mini dimensionals in there, but I didn't see them when I was pulling all those out. So this also just saves me from more hunting. All right, there you go. Aren't you cute? All right, I think you're gonna love doing those. Those are gonna be super fun. And then you've got all your tags for Easter and for Halloween and for Christmas and for birthdays and for any kind of special occasion that you might actually need. So thank you for joining me. It was really fun to have you with me. Don't forget to go online and see all of the new things. There's a bunch of new things and they will sell out. Eventually, some things I noticed from the new catalog that just came out, the new mini, are getting on low inventory. So I was glad I already had them. And I check that pretty often just to make sure that the, couple of things I didn't buy yet that I definitely want to buy are still available. And anyhow, so don't wait. If you want to buy anything, this is a good time. If you are not a demonstrator already, just get that starter kit. Use that to put all these items in. You do not need to stay as a demonstrator. It is a test for you and for Stampin' Up! To see if it's a good fit. If it's not a good fit, you just don't buy anymore and you're not a demonstrator. Not a big deal. All right, we will see you next week. Have a wonderful, I hope your weather's as good as ours. It's wonderful out there. I'm going to go outside. All right, I'll see you later. Bye.